Okay guys, I'm back. This is part 2 of how to make a ladybug album or layout. This is for beginners or for a child, even for an adult that would like to try something different and be able to share it. So we have got the layout at this point, and then I sat and I did a bunch of different colors and both the oak leaf and then the plant leaf. I don't know what else you want to call it. And then I cut enough of the vines here, and what I had left over, I have these like scrap sticks, if you guys can see scrap sticks. I'm actually going to use those first when I get to it, but I want you to take out the punches, or get to this again, I want you to take the 1-inch punch this time, the recollection, or something of similarity. So sorry. And then I want you to punch out 4 of them. This one happens to have a catcher on it so they don't fling up at me. Again, I should have used my scraps, but I only need 4. I'm going to pop the back here, slide it. And then I should have 4 of them. I should, but here's 4. Here's 4 of them here. Now, here's the cool thing about that. I do need 3 or 4 more little black dots. So you're going to see me punch those real quick. Out of the 3/4. Now, again, you can use different sizes depending on the size of what you're planning on doing, whether it's a single ladybug, or 2 ladybugs, or multi-ladybugs. This is kind of a fun layout that's versatile. It's funny because I can actually, when I'm in the mood, I can do a layout in a flash depending on the hankering, but if I really think about it, sometimes you overthink things. Yeah, that becomes a problem. So what we're going to do, and here's kind of the cool part, we're actually going to put the eyeballs on. These are your eyeballs. Isn't that cool? So we're going to put just a little bit of glue, use tape, use a snail. So we just stick the eyeballs on. This is how you get into cute little eyes. So this is cute. I love doing these. The little eyeballs. I don't always share all my stuff, and it's kind of a habit when I get into too much and I forget. And my kids will tell you that. Have a good day, honey. So I put 2 eyes one way with a little up and 2 eyes. Let's pull this one back a little bit. So we got 2 different going different ways. So I'm going to take those eyeballs, and we're going to put the eyeballs on. Though ladybugs really don't have eyeballs like this, but hey, we're having fun, right? So we're going to put the eyes here. Now you can put them underneath or you can put them on top. It is your personal choice. But make sure if you do them all a little bit differently, that they are consistent. So I got my 2 ladybug eyeballs on. That's those. And then we're going to put the other 2 on. But we're going to put the eyeballs like it's looking up. Or looking out here. So this is kind of the cool part, that you can do these as you go. I'm going to turn his eye just a little bit. I kind of like the idea that they're kind of looking a little different. So it gives them a little personality. So now we have the eyes and the ladybug here. So the one thing that I'm going to do for my personal choice, I am going to actually glue down this flap here so that it is one continuous flap. So I'm going to use the glue instead. So I'm just going to put some glue in here and just let it sit. It'll glue itself. I don't need to put my finger in there. The only reason why I don't always like to use glue is that it can bubble the paper. So I use tape a lot, and I don't use temporary glue. I use permanent glue. So that's me, but everybody has a preference. Now that we got our ladybugs done, at least at this point, we're going to start on the corner area over here. Here's the fun part. Now I'm standing up. This is like the great part. Though I have a dog below me. For me to sit down is a little short for me, even though I'm short. So here's the great part, that we get to start multi-layering. So this is where it can get a little more painful to do. But at the same time, this is where my tape gun comes in. Again, I highly recommend it if you can't afford to get one. So Joann's and Michael's has a hard time keeping the tape in stock. I highly recommend you do tape otherwise. Now, you can put these anywhere you want. I like being a little whimsy, and since I have tape up to here, we're going to go all the way to the edge. And this is how I'm going to do mine. We're just going to layer it, like say branch by branch. and have a little fun. Let's take another color. Now when I cut them, after taking the punches out, there's going to be some irregularities, which is fine because that's what makes it a little more unique and a little more fun. Sorry, my clock is going off. My husband wants to get another one. I love these clocks. So I'm just going to put them every which way I'd like and just keep layering them because you're really not going to see them too much. So I'm going to put one more layer in here, and I'm going to put that one, I think, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I'm going to put this one over here because I want this ladybug to be a little bit different. So I'm going to tape that one and I'm going to put it underneath the wing because I want to give you guys options as we get it. So you're going to start seeing the background disappear in the corner. Now, I'm going to take some vines, not all of them, and I'm going to have a little bit more fun. Now, you can shorten them, you can make them long. Mine's going to be any which way, but whatever. And this, again, this is where the glue comes in. Now, I don't like to get my, I actually do not like to get my paper messed up, my new board, because this is my new one. I don't generally do my dirty work over here, unless it's small like what I'm doing, but I don't like to get my mat dirty, not this one. I have 4 on the end of the table, and I get them dirty. So, I'm just going to put glue down on that. And then I'm going to come back and put more glue on it, so I don't like to waste. And we're going to put the vine, we're going to start layering it, though it's going to put glue on my thingy. So we're going to just start layering the vines, which is cool, because now you have a little more control, which is something I enjoy. And layering is a good thing. A lot of people are like, well, why would you layer? Well, the idea is that not only is it contrast, but it is a way to make you, in this instance, you're going to focus in more on the ladybug. It gives depth, so it's a little more fun when you start to do the layering. Plus it stretches out your scrap paper if you have it. The green, the 5 colors you're going to use the absolute most of if you're doing paper crafts. It's going to be you're going to use a lot of red, green, those are the 2 biggest ones, and then blue, and then black and white. Well, probably black and white, and then red and green, and then blue. So, I mean, that is what I found that you use the most. Now, I don't want to use all of these right up front, just so you guys know that. I just want to start layering. And I'm just going to keep the little glue over here going. But I just want to take some at a time, and we're going to multi-layer as we go. And it doesn't really matter if you do the way you did it. It's going to be hidden in a lot of areas. So, I'm going to put some glue. I'll leave my little sticks over here, because we're going to... You can use brown, but I want to keep it within this color thing, and if you put brown in there, it might be a little bit of a distraction. Now, this is just the back of the sticker that we're going to start using. Now, I'm going to take some of the, this is an old container. I'm going to take some of the leaves, and I'm going to start having a little fun by gluing them in. Again, it doesn't really matter how you do them, because they're just going to come out in all different ways anyway. It's all just a layering effect. And it just makes it, okay, come back. It just makes it fun. So it doesn't really matter to me when I do them. I just like doing them a little different on everything. Makes it a little more fun, though it starts to get sticky. Yeah. When you start lowering down on glue, it starts to get sticky. Now do them different ways. Again, it's just kind of the effect. This is kind of childlike anyway. So that's what makes it fun. So I'm going to do them different ways. They're going to go in multi-layers, of course, in different colors. The sparkle one makes it kind of fun, because the sparkle one is just another one of those cute little highlights. And if you can see how I'm going, it just doesn't matter. So it's just fun. You guys don't make it so, scary. And I want to leave some of the vine out on that one. So I'm just going to keep going over here. Let's put some more glue down, because I don't want to probably use the end and brush it over. Squeeze some more down so I can get more down. You don't want to stop. When you start working on this, you don't want to stop, because then your glue starts drying out. So I'm just going to go back over to the sticks over here and where the little vines are starting. And then I'm going to make sure that the colors don't always cover over. Because I want it to be a little bit different, and I'm doing them in different directions here. And that's kind of a fun thing that, like I said, I like to just start sticking them everywhere when I'm doing layering. A lot of people like to watch me because I like to shoot from the hip, and when I do videos, I really do enjoy making them. And I want to feel like that, you know, I'm part of what's going on in your house. Not being creepy. I like having fun, and if I can teach something, and even though I'm sure a lot of you guys go, oh, well, I could do that. Well, sure, that's the whole point. But I know that there are some of you that follow me or even don't follow me that are saying, well, I'm a little scared. And the person that I taught this, I came up with this idea in about 5 minutes. And I'm not trying to brag. It's just for me, when I look at things, it's easy. Sometimes it takes inspiration, and a lot of people, I have a sister who goes, oh, well, you're just taking somebody else's idea and stealing. No, the one thing about art that's amazing, even the greatest artists, they're famous for learning underneath bigger ones, bigger Monterey's, Montours. So it depends. I mean, when I was teaching art class to high school, it just really, really depends on what you'd like to do. You know, I mean, it's fun. I mean, when you go, say and y'all know these classes that are out there, they're the wine and paint classes. Well, everybody's doing the whole thing the same. The thing of it is everybody has their interpretation of it. And that's the concept behind art. You know, you could be taught any which way you'd like to be taught, but in the end, it's your product. Your imagination. And I don't believe that anybody should judge anybody. One of my favorite styles when I like to paint, I like doing abstract. Would I have abstract in my house? No. But it fascinates the hell out of me. But that's me, guys. That's just me. So you can start to see how it's layering up. Don't worry about the edges. We're just going to keep going here. I want to put some more of the branches in, stick branches and some more vines. And you just keep layering it up. So, I mean, if anybody ever, you can use a glue if you want. If anybody ever questions you, you just say, you know what, hell with you, I don't give a shit. And I'm sorry, but, you know, really, I don't. I know that's kind of bold and blunt. That's just me. I really, really don't care what people think of me. I used to, and then it just gets old being bullied most of your life. So, you know, it gets kind of old. I don't care anymore. And then I have a son with disabilities. So it's really kind of annoying to see people, and I grew up with a different name, and I did, and I had people pick on me, and it's funny to see that their children are now, and I should have done the tape because it's faster, their children are now named weird names, and then I name my children normal names. So a lot of people are like, well, you know, yeah. And then I'll have people say, oh, well, you know, and I'm not joking on this. I had one guy from high school that drove me freaking crazy. He said to me, he caught up with me on Facebook, and he goes, oh, you're a MILF. And I'm like, really? How freaking old are you to make that comment? And he's like, but you are. I bet you're a cougar, too. And I'm like, no. He's like, well, yada, 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 yada. And I'm like, let me explain something to you. I've been married for 20, I think it was 20 years at the time. And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, you know, I should have asked you out when I was in high school. I said, sweetheart, even if I wanted, I would have never gone out with you. And he's like, why? I said, because you know what? Some people don't forget. People don't forget. People don't forget. Oh, well, that was high school. I said, let me tell you something. People don't forget. They may move past it, but when it really comes down to it, would I have ever had, if I had the opportunity to date you after high school if I wasn't married, would I? Nope. No way in God's good earth would I have gone out with him. So, I mean, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, if you were picked on when you were in high school. But he's like, well, I wouldn't date you now, you know, anyway. And I'm like, why? He goes, you're out of baby-making years. I was like 35, almost 36, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Man, you got your head on wrong. I mean, hell, my grandma was having babies in the 50s when she was in 50. She started at like 16. Yeah, it's like, you know what? I don't know what it is with men. No offense to the guys that are watching. It's funny to hear men who think that. Though in my mind, from the comment he said, just reminded me, once again, he's back in high school. So, it's just ridiculous. So if you guys are noticing, I'm still going across with glue. And I'm going to stick a few more vines in here. And I just keep layering. I mean, if you guys want to, I love doing these lessons as a group. And I was thinking about going back to live lessons, and then kind of letting you guys kind of pick during a week. Like during the week, if, you know, people give me ideas. Like, oh, hey, I want to see a baby album, or, oh, I want to see this technique. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, this starts layering up like it's, this is kind of cool. I really have fun. And who doesn't like to play with glue? I mean, hell, they brought back coloring, but then again, I've always colored. So, we're just going to keep going. I love this. I really do. If you want to beef it up, do your own kind of thing. And like I said, don't worry about the edges. The edges are least of your concern. And I just keep building it up. And you can go as far as you want. I'm going to go a little bit more because I want to show you why I'm covering up the edges at the same time. You don't want it to cover totally because you want to see some of that background. And I want to show you why, because I mean, you can see the rolling hills in this particular sheet of paper. And like I said, I just go whatever direction I want when I'm putting this stuff on anyway. If you're wondering if I talk to my sister, no, I don't. I haven't had anything to do with her with years. I don't care for my sister. I have 5 sisters and 4 brothers. I am what I call, if you guys have been following me, I call myself the midlife love crisis child from the 70s, and I am the mixed breed. In my opinion, I got the best of both worlds from my parents. My siblings all have issues. Not that, you know, we all don't have our side here. But, you know, I had one die a year ago, but my dad started at 15. By the time he was 26, he had 6 children. And I used to laugh at him and tease him. I was like, well, damn, Dad, you didn't know any better at, you know, at 40 when you had me. He's like, guess not. And it's funny because when I was in school and I was learning about the birds and the bees, I'd come home and I'd be talking to my mom, and my dad would look at me like a deer in headlight because they weren't taught that back then. And my mom, I walk out of the room and I can clearly hear my dad. If you guys saw my house, you can clearly hear the house that I grew up in. And he goes, what is she talking about? And she told him, and I came back in the room and he's just beet red. And I'm just going, well, Dad, you know, I'm sorry. He goes, I never knew any of that. And I felt bad for him because back then they just didn't. You know, it's sad. I mean, it's scary too. But, I mean, you wonder why people had children. Back in those days, my dad was born in 34. So it's very interesting to see how things have changed. Now I'm going to put a little bit more in while I'm talking to you. I want to go around the edge here, put another little branch and maybe a couple lines. Like I said, I just punched out what I had. And I wanted to give it a little more dimension than using my scrap paper doesn't hurt. This time I'm going to use my tape gun because you can see why I use my tape gun, especially during lessons. And then I'm going to put it over here because I kind of want to hide some more of that orange. Really, it didn't take all the tape. And that moved. We don't want that to move. Luckily it's with glue and I should have done it with tape. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit more on. And then I'm going to move on because I really want to get to some of this really cool features that I put on mine. Like I said, you can interpret this any which way you guys would love. This is the one thing about this particular, oops. Yeah, there we go. We got glue on it. I have to clean it up. This can be interpreted so many different ways with different bugs. And I want to cover up what I can on this. And I mean, the cool thing about this vine one is that you can turn it upside down or however. And I'm going to do another little piece in there. I like layering. This is fun. This is like playing with glue and how you can get to peel all that off your finger. Yay! Right? Come on, who doesn't like that? Okay, so I'm going to put some more leaves in here to branch it out a little bit. And then I'm going to leave it alone because I'm afraid that it's going to cover up too much of what I want to do. And my glue's coming off again. And it's okay if you don't cover the whole leaves in glue because that gives it a 3-dimensional effect if it by chance pops up. So that, like I said, that's kind of the cool feature that you get with some of these projects that you do. Sometimes I will do these layouts and things to where, especially when I'm doing dimension, where you don't, what's a good word for that? where you don't see like the layering like this, what I'll do is I'll do like dark to light. I have a double page Tinkerbell layout that's actually sideways. If you guys want to go back and look, came out beautiful. I love how that particular one came out. And you can see how I didn't get all the glue even on the vines, so it's going to stick in different places, so it's popping up, which I love. I really like this sparkle one, so I want to try to use that as much as possible. So, you know, it's just a matter of fun. You know, just have a little fun. I'm loving this. I miss teaching, guys. It's just last year in my back, it just became a living nightmare, even just to get up of a morning. If you guys haven't had back issues, I have degenerating disc disease. I have severe arthritis in my back, and it's so on and so on. I don't want anybody to feel bad for me. It was a nightmare, and it drove me crazy because I love to absolutely teach. And for me not to be able to participate and just follow was driving me nuts. Because I love you guys. So I'm going to put a few more in here and then I'm going to stop. Don't have to get rid of all of that green. Let's put in another light one here and there to give more of a balance in here. I mean, I got so many of those. Let's use a little more oak leaves. Let's put that one over here. So anyway, but if you go back to my Tinkerbell layout, let's see if I can get that leaf to stay. So, alright, so I'm going to put this stuff up. So I got extras. That's fine. It goes in not my scrap box. I have a different box for that. And when I get to teaching, when I start showing my craft space, you'll see what I do. So right now, you can let this dry, but I really don't have time for it to dry. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to see where my lines are. And I'm actually going to put it on my cutting board. Actually, I'm going to cut this little edge here. We're going to cut this little edge here because it's going to be easier to have just 3 corners, or 2 corners. And then I'm just going to straight cut it on this one side. Luckily, my board does a little bit better here. And then I'm just going to cut it here, just straight across to cut all that off. Now, if you don't have a cutting board, just use a pair of scissors. And then I'm going to go to this side. And because it's exactly a 12 by 12, it should be easy. And if you cut a little more than the 12 by 12 off, it's alright. It just makes it easier to go in an album. So I got all these scraps. And I have a thing below. So now we're back to, oh look how cool that is, right? So you have this set up. Now, here's the cool thing. Now I'm going to try to get rid of some of this stuff. Let this dry up here. We're going to get back to that in a few minutes. But I want to clean this up real quick, just a little bit. Because I don't want it in my way, and I don't want it to confuse you guys. So that's why you have a bucket, and then I put it in a bin. I have a bin full of stuff if you guys saw it. I'm going to put this over. I don't need any more leaves. Here's where the stickers will come in. And I'm not done. Even if I put the stickers on, you're going to see how I do this. And this is going to be without alphas on it. I think I'll be putting, I don't know what color, but that's going to be your choice. And this is what I would put Love Bug. The last one I did Love Bug. This would be Love Bug. Now here's where you get your cheap little daisy stickers. And the one thing about those is you're going to have to watch when you get into petals. So you're going to have to take off more than, half of it so that it doesn't tear the petals. Now you're going to go in and just stick a few in there. Not so many. Don't worry about so many that you want in there. So you're going to start seeing it get layered and layered and layered and layered. And it's cool because now you get to see more of the effect. And I feel bad for anybody who stops with the first one. Because it's so much more fun to see how it ends up being. So I love the fact that this has different sizes on these daisies. And you don't need them all. I'm just sticking in a few. I want to stick in probably one over by the ladybug. But that's up to you on how you want to do your vines. You can wrap your ladybug with vines all the way around and just have them popping out. It depends on how you want to layer them. Now I have one that's going to be sticking out here and then we'll cut the edge off. I'm not really worried about it. But I do want to put a few more over here to make it pop. But I don't want to put too many because the ladybugs do have daisies with them. Again, I mean, if you don't have a, what's the word? If you don't have punches and stuff like that, use what you have around the house. Use a toilet paper tube. There is so much stuff that you have around the house that you don't realize you can do. I always tell people, I said, look, here, let me go into your house, give me your junk drawers and whatever else you may think could work, and I will show you I can fill a good couple boxes of, and I'll put this one up here pretty, and I think I'm going to stop because the ladybugs have some, so ladybugs in the bag. So I've already kind of took this and put glue on it, but I'm going to let that dry because I don't want to mess up anything else. So, and if you see that these already have some layers, then this is where it gets more layers. So we are at 25 minutes. I'm kind of talking fast, ain't I? Of course, I could pause and grab some alphas if I want when I get done, but I'll show the final product when I get done on my page, I think. So I'm going to take a couple with ladybugs, and I'm just going to mix them in between and put them under the layers. I don't want all of them to show like that. And I'm going to mix here and there, if you see what I'm doing. Again, that brings in more dimension into it. I have this one, which is really cool. We're going to stick that down in between a layer and stick that down in there. So we're looking at like mama one. And I'm just going to put like a ladybug up in here. What the hell? Put some regular brown ones in here. We're going to put it on the branch. Let's take this other ladybug on a sideways daisy. This is the fun part, guys. This is where you get to be the most creative. Again, use what you got. Don't be, you know, intimidated to go buy anything extra than maybe just a few of these individual items. And see how cute it's starting to come together even more. It's just like going into a ladybug patch. I'm going to put this one up in here and layer that. So it's kind of cool. I mean, how cool is this? We're just going to, you don't have to use them all. I'm enjoying sticking more and more on here. And since I got a little stick piece here, let's put an actual ladybug there to kind of cover it up. I have this weird little flower. I like the sideways one because it gives a little more dimensions. Now, I do have a punch. Put this one up in here so I can stick it underneath. I do have a punch, and this is a flower punch. I have a couple of these different ones. And if you can see, it does the same thing as the daisy, basically. And it depends on what you want to do. I have the butterfly punches. It's just, if you don't have them, grab stickers, go to different places. I want to put more ladybugs, and I don't want to put so many daisies because I want it to be more about the ladybugs. So I'm going to put some here. I gotta kind of have some of the normal, the girls. The girls are the darker, or the brownish looking ones. So I'm just sticking them in here and there. Isn't that fun? It just keeps going on. I can't help it. But I don't want to use all of them because I want to use those in different ways. I want to take a couple more. No, you know what? I'm going to stop here. Let's put one basically over here. And just leave that. I mean, it's already adorable the way it turns out. So far we have this. Now, I'm going to stick this over temporarily. We will come back to it. Give it a chance to dry just a few minutes. And then we're going to take our scraps of white, red, and black. And I know you're going, okay, now what does she have up her sleeve? Now you're going to find out what we're doing. We're going to do some journal cards. Just so that, these all disappear. So you can already throw that away. I'm not going to keep them. I'm going to go to my cutting board. And then I'm going to see how much I have left for me to do little journaling cards. And again, I have enough to do. This is why I always do out to the edge. There is a 5-inch line, and then this is 5 by 12, which is perfect because now you can use your scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, don't worry about it. You can just fold it, which is why I'm teaching this. It's a 5 by 12, which makes it out to a 5 by 6. Now, if you want to cut it down even more, you can. But this is going to give you a spot to do a little more fun. So you can do more than one, which is what I'm not going to do because I don't want to do too many. This is going to give me, no, you know what, I might do another one. Let's see how much I can get off of this one, which comes to 5.5, I believe. The black gave me 5.5 because it was smaller. And I'm going to fold, let me see if it'll run right into this one. Because it's the same length. Yay, it does. So I'm going to fold this one in half. And like I said, this is if you guys do not have a scoreboard. Scoreboards do make it easier. I do consider it one of the most essential pieces. Now, whether you want it in the European sizes, actually, we're the only one that have those sizes, or you want them in ours, in the American version. I'm going to put this back over. It's sticking. Final. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the inside here with the outside. I'm going to take the outside and just do a quick tape down the middle. I know a lot of people don't do that. They do very little tape, but if you guys have ever gotten a package from me, and some of you have, I'm pretty anal with tape. When I make something, I put it together where it never comes apart unless you rip it up. That includes packaging. So when you put something in here, you want to be slightly away from that edge, so that when you close it, it's going to pull in anyway. So I'm going to fold it down. Now, by chance, if it has the extra like here, the bonus to that is I can come over to my cutting board and I can trim it. But I'm not. Because I'm going to do this slightly different. And I'm going to double measure and make sure that I have just enough for what I want to do. That is now 6 inches. And I'm going to take the white and I'm going to do a center piece for that. Actually, I might do something different. Let's do the outside. The outside, I like the whole matted look. The matted look gives more dimension. That is 6 by 5.5. So I'm going to go 6.5. I'm going to go 6.5 on this white. And then I'm going to go, what did I say, 5.5? I'm going to go to 5. I'm just going to use the scraps. This is the bonus. I'm going to make like a little book here. Make sure it's right. But what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to trim off that red. That, again, is the bonus. Too, if you go over the line, it's art. And I swear I tell people, don't worry about it. So this one's going to be like a frame where you can put stickers or whatever you want. This is going to give me a variety of ways of using it. If you have, by chance, photo corner punch or die, this could come in handy for you. Or, once again, I'm going to show you something you can do with your scraps. Now, I'm going to take my scraps. First of all, I'm going to tear that off. Are you guys having fun? I'm having fun. We're at 32 minutes. Woo-hoo. I'm going to take the red, since we already have the black here. If you can see, we already have the black. I'm going to go back, and I'm actually going to go at 1.5 inch. Actually, yeah, 1.5 inch. I'm going to go 1.5 inch strip. Ta-da! And then I'm going to go in and do 1.5 once again, and do little squares here. There's one. I need one more. I got one here. We're going to do 1.5 right here. I have to go get another scrap piece of white. So I right now have 2 squares at this size. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make some photo corners. So I'm going to take this. And there's some green stuck on it. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, so I'm going to make sure they're together. Now, whether they're exact, it's alright. You can use your cutting board. But for those who don't have anything at home, I'm just going to cut from corner to corner. And that's it. So I'm going to take glue, and I'm going to glue the corners. Now, not the whole thing, just the line. That's it. And we're going to put one on each corner, and we're going to like take it all the way to the edge, because I want to use the white. So I'm going to take it straight to the edge. And this is why I don't like using glue. But, you know, hey, I'm trying to show you. I don't mind getting my hands messy, but I'm one of the people that instant satisfaction. So now I got 2 photo corner edges. And then I got 2 more here. Go back. I'm going to go ahead and glue this one. Try to stay exactly away from the inside of that. You're going to go back and you're going to go almost to the far corner. You want a little bit of black showing. And I'll show you this in a second. I may do something different. Now, this is all in how you guys want to do journal or pictures, but just a quick sample. So now you have a matted with photo corners. Now, so that we can keep moving, I'm going to add a couple little stickers to it. I'm going to put some leaves in here because it's red or white. So I'm going to stick this down in here. And I'm going to just put it all the way over to the corner because we're going to trim that off. You want it to look like it blends in, which is probably what you know what, I'll take this one anyway. And then I'm going to put this one up at the corner. Again, here's where it starts to look really cute. Now, I don't want to use all of them. I just want a little bit of highlight because if by chance you want to gem it up, put some pearl trim, some ribbon, you can do these all different ways depending on what you have at your house. I just like to teach that if you have it, you use what you have. You don't always have to go running out and get something that you may not have the money for. Now, so I have one place so far for a picture. Now, the inside is going to become a picture area too. Now, that depends on how much scrap you have. Now that I have used most of my white, I'll have to probably get another one, but I'm going to measure what I have anyway. I don't have quite enough to do a 4.5, so let me go get, real quick, it's not only but about 10 feet from me. I like to use, if I'm using less, if I'm not going to use the white for 12 inches in any shape or form, I tend to use my 8.5 by 11. If I need just a section or just something cut or something printed or whatever, I use just that. I try not to use my, not that it's expensive, but I try not to use it if I don't have to. Now, again, I believe this was 6 by 5.5. So I'm going to actually do, why is the inside? Let me go with the inside, figuring that out. I want to go at the width first. So if I have 5 inches at that, I'm going to go 4.5 because my pictures are going to be 4.5 or 3.5. It'd be 4 by 6, right? What did I say? 5.5. Yeah, we're going to go 5 because the pictures are probably going to be, wait a minute, they're going to be 4 by 6. Let's go 4.5. That's what I want to do. 4.5. I'm going to do another 4.5. I'm going to do the paper a different way, so hopefully I can use the other scrap, or, you know, we have to get another one. So now I have these two pieces that are correct on length, but not on width. But I want to do them slightly different, and I'm going to show you why. See, because now this is like a menu. Now, I don't want it to be totally set up to where it's got that much of a gap, but you have to kind of worry when you're doing kind of a wide thing. You don't want it so wide in the middle. So I tend to try to figure it out on my paper here, my board, or my mat. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to try to figure that out. That is what, because it's saying exactly on the 6th mark line, but at the same time I'm too afraid to cut too much. So what if I pull it up, and okay, so that's going to be 1 1/4 off. I know it sounds crazy, but again, you know, logistics comes to whatever you guys end up wanting to do. But I'm just doing this for the purpose of this. Though I'm going to have a nice new layout when I get done. So I did that perfectly. Now what I want to do is I'm going to repeat that. Now the easiest thing to do is to go over to the same sheet, go over and cut it. This cutting board's a bomb. When I get to tools, I shared it once, and I think I did a video on it. I am so in love with this. I have gone through, I don't know how many boards. So that was quick. Now again, because this is actually going to be double matted, I'm going to try to do the same thing on this side on the back. That gives me 4 options on what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to put this in the middle, and I'm going to leave those as is with no photo corners for now. I'm actually probably going to leave that the way it is. As a matter of fact, I am. I'm going to leave that the way it is so I can sticker it. And then I will do the same back here with different ways with different stickers. But that way, this is going to be the same as the back with the stickers being different. And then the inside will be slightly different with just stickers and this mat, so where you can put pictures and center it in. So I will be right back. It'll be like a split second to you, but a little extra time. Well, guys, it's me again, and I finished. I did put a little detail to it that I'm going to be doing more details at the end. So once I teach the rest of this, then I'm going to finish the card and then come back. But I went ahead and put some twine in here so that I can use it for a belly ribbon on both sides for pictures. It doesn't matter how you do it. If you want to do paper belly ribbon, you can want to do a ribbon. I just decided to do twine. So here's the front for a picture. Here's the inside for 2 pictures, and then a picture here. And you can always adjust the picture by adding a mat to it. And I could tell you right now, I don't know what pictures are going in here, but I'm sure I got plenty of pictures of my kids. And so I'm going to stick this over for just a second. And I did only use one of these butterflies, or ladybugs. I used one of those and then one of Daisy's. So that was like $2. This is a very inexpensive layout, and I am a huge fan of it. I did see that I missed a corner here on the daisies. So now that we have all that done, now you so choose to do however you'd like on this layout. Let me pull the scraps over here. You so choose what you like to do on this layout. If you want to use the wings to put pictures on, if you want to pivot it with a brad, to where you can sort of take it off, sort of look, put it together, put a picture in the middle, however you'd like. But this, for me, is my pocket. I'm going to put it in here, and then when I get done, you're not going to really see much of it. So I'm not even worried about that, and I know it's sticking up. So now that I know that, I can journal in here, and I'm going to use this as a pocket because I never know how I'm going to do it. So I am just going to edge around it. You can use glue, and I'm going to put that side just slightly down. This side here is already slightly done with glue. This side is not, but I am going to go ahead and glue just a little bit right here because I already know where my pocket is, or tape, I'm sorry, using my TG gun. So now I have the pocket here. Now, okay, so where do you journal? Ta-da! So here's where the next part comes in, and scrap paper. So what we have here is the whole corner here, or you can do here. You can use even across here on the ladybug if you'd like. If you just want to do white, a white gel pen, you can. It gives you a variety of options when you're doing stuff like this. Now, for this one, I think that I'm just going to use little labels here. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to measure, and I'm going to actually put a card, or not a card, but I'm going to cut these in strips so that I know exactly where my journaling is going to go. So because of my label maker, I believe I know it's more than 1/4 of an inch. I don't think it's 1/2 inch. But what I'm going to do here is, let me do it that way. Let me do it the opposite way here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. I can always cut the length off. So with this piece here is 3 inches. And I'm going to go down 1/2 each time. So I know when I cut that I'm getting exactly a 1/2. Well, I should make sure it's level, but... And so I'm going to do 1 strip there. And go down to here. That's 2 strips. I'm going to probably do 4 of them, which I think is plenty. But maybe, let's do 5, just to be on the safe side. Let's see if it works. I could do 5. Because I don't know if I'm going to use them, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and do them. Or we go until the paper won't go anymore, which is damn close to it now. So there's 4 strips. And let's see if I can possibly pull out of my bum, because there's no numbers when you get to this skinny. And I'm leveling it up with my screws, hoping that I get this right. And I think I did. Look, I got it. So that means I have an extra one, just in case. So now that that is over, now you don't have to do this. Again, the variety is there. But I'm going to tuck some of it under. I'm not going to use, even if I do and I tape it under, that still has a pocket for me to add to it because it's going to be downward. So I'm just going to tape it down. But this is me. Everybody has a different option. I mean, that's the greatest thing about this particular layout. the options are unlimited. So I'm going to just go where it wants me to go. And again, I have the label maker, the electric label maker for my computer. That was a new gift for my husband because I label, I'm not anal, but I get there. And I'm going to pick this up just a little bit because I did do the option of a different way. And I'm going to leave just a little bit of a gap. And if it's off, it's off. It doesn't matter to me whether it's off, so it is really off. Oh well. It is what it is. You live and learn. And I'll just have a little more fun by adding a little more, maybe a couple more little flowers. But I'm not going to totally show you that in this video. I'm going to come back, but I'm going to go and do my thing when I finish putting these on. I just got to get that right. Now whether it goes down or not. See, that's kind of cute, right? I know it's off a little bit, but live and learn. But we're going by the ladybug. We're going to go down inward a little bit. I'm going to give it plenty of room. Now, whether I write it in or use my label maker in the end doesn't really matter to me. Because if I do without the label maker, I can use just a black pen. Label maker, I think, would look more defined. And then I'm going to do one that pulls in just a little bit more, I think, because if I, you know what, no, I don't want to do any more. Maybe if I can get this one underneath. Let's see if I can get this one underneath. Or I can put one in here and just put the date. How about that? That'll be like the date. And just freehand cut because I don't really care. It's going to go underneath it anyway. A little closer, but whatever. So I have this here. Now it's a little off, but at least in my mind, I'm getting a little anal here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and detail this out and put a little extra bling bling in there. And I'm going to put a title on it, and when I come back, it'll be finished. So it'll be a blink of an eye for you, but not for me. So just stay tuned with me here, guys. I know you will, but just don't go anywhere, because this is also May 20th share of Family Matters Month, and this is for my children. So stay with me, and I'll show you the finished product in just a few seconds. Well, guys, I have finished, and though it was in a flash for you, sorry, it wasn't for me. And though you think that this took a lot of thought, and it doesn't, this is why I like to teach certain things. My layout is done. It's called Love Bugs, and those are my children. One's larger than the other, though you wouldn't tell, but you can also use smaller ones, and I put the holographic little three-dimensional butterflies. I put some swirls, like if it was free-floating, you guys know, like a trail on some of them. That is Prima Say It With Crystals. And then these are just some beautiful little, but if I could find this again, I'd buy a bunch of them. And then I put just a little bit of liquid pearls and then little dewdrops in here. And I left it at that. I did put in the title here of Love Bug. And with it being silver, it just highlighted off the bugs, or butterflies, which is where I went with the ones that had side edging of silver. So it came out really pretty, and I did just a little bit of highlight on the eyes. If you can see, I put just a little bit around the eyes, and I made it look like it had a little twinkle in it. So I do hope that you love my ladybug lesson for today, and I'm super excited that I finally got back. And of course, you guys have already seen the card inside, but I will show you. Now, I didn't put any more details to it because I didn't want to have to worry about it being drying. Plus, I don't think it needs it because it already has a little bit of sparkle here and there. But again, I could also have some journaling here. I really think this is beautiful. Anyone out here can do this. That's $2 worth of stickers at Walmart, a couple extra sheets of paper. You can take the title and you can print it out on your printer and then cut it out. You can outline it. You could do a lot of different things. This is so that you could see that you could do this in so many different ways. I wanted to share this. I've been trying to share this for 2 years. I did share one that was completed with one big ladybug. Only this one was for my children. The one I did before was for somebody who came to visit, and I was trying to teach her. So I hope you like it. I think the details are gorgeous. I will have pictures here at the end for you guys to see. And this is all layering, and you still have your like vines, your sticks, your stems all in there. And again, all the green was from scraps. The white, though I'll put some more in scraps even if I wanted to. I did check and I didn't have enough white big enough for what I wanted for that card. Some cheap glitter glue, though I prefer my stickles. This is Studio G. Like I said, the little swirls, crystals, that is Prima, say it with crystals. The little dewdrops or something, I think it's Sticko. The lettering, I don't know where I got it. I did a lot of swapping and trading about 5 years ago for alphas. I love alphas, though I do have my machine. There's a layout that I have sitting here that I'm waiting for something, and my daughter's coming home. I was looking for a piece that went to it and can't freaking find it. I mean, I have literally tore my area apart looking for it, but I couldn't find it. So I'm having her bring me home another. But look how pretty these butterflies, just look on them. And go ahead and pick on me. There's no pictures on the front, but again, when I do layouts for me and any mother, does it really matter whether or not anybody else sees it? Because if you really get down to it, people don't really look at albums anymore. This is storytelling, and I'm a huge believer in storytelling, because you're not going to always be around, and though your kids don't appreciate it, and I have one that's going to be 19 next month and a 21-year-old, they say, oh, it's pretty, that's nice, but they don't care. They're not at that age. They're not married. They don't have any kids. So, you know, it's great. I mean, like I said, you know, if you have a punch, use a punch. I highly recommend a cutting board, but if you don't have a cutting board, then don't worry about it. You definitely need a ruler, whether it's a saucer or bowl, a die cut machine. This is super simple. $2 in stickers. The background could be anything. And you saw that it was a park setting. You can no longer see that. It does look like there's some water down in here and then still a trail down here. Then that could be just a branch. So, and the one thing I wanted to make sure highlighted was the sun and clouds back here, and you can still see a little cloud over here. I could put more to it, like more clouds, but it's just enough. This will be like the date and a little journaling here when I can find the pictures. But again, this will go into a sleeve when it's dry, and this is mine. Now, I do make for other people. I generally charge when I start doing this. If you guys want a kit, I'll sit and make you a kit for this. And I'll use my die cut machine to do the circles and things. But if somebody wants this and wants me to make them a kit, just let me know. I'll probably charge for you guys to put it together. I'll make sure there's plenty of everything that you need, including the stickers and a title, depending on what title you want. I charge $20, and that has nothing to do with shipping. But the one thing that I do, and I do well, is when I do a layout like this, I always send extra so you can split it by 2. So it's not just about 1 page. I generally give you enough to do 2. It depends on how you set it up. So I hope, once again, that you like this. Now, again, that doesn't have anything to do with shipping, but they came out super cute. I'm going to be announcing a swap. Probably today, maybe tomorrow. I've been trying to get to it really bad. I'm going to be doing a card kit swap on my Facebook page. Though if you don't have a Facebook page and I'm familiar with you, I have no problem with me getting you involved without it. It can go by email to me and by YouTube, as long, because I'm going to be doing a video on it that explains it in better details. I right now already know about 8 people that will sign up for this, and I already got confirmed 4. And I have people that are coming out of the woodwork that they haven't done this in a while. So they're pretty excited. Please stay tuned, stay with me, and enjoy today's share and the pictures. Bye, guys. Bye. Love you.